Well, hello. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Hi.
Hi.
I just got in.
Yeah, you just flew
I
in.
just I
Boy,
just
are your
flew in.
arms tired.
My arms are tired. Please like, share, subscribe to our channel, and click on that notification bell so you stay connected with us anytime we go live. Anytime.
Anytime.
Anytime at all.
And this is Tom and Heather from Shadowfields. This is Monday in the studio.
And Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes.
It's just been an incredibly fast year, hasn't it? We were just here a year ago doing the same thing, like a year in review. It feels like,
yeah.
So Tony is in Boca Raton. Oh, come on. That can't even be right. Now, I believe that Jim Levis is Mr. Arizona, but Tony Skaruk, you're in Boca Raton?
What is that all about?
How come we didn't take you with him?
Apparently,
hey,
we're
Shirley,
not that close.
Hey, Dave. Well, not as close as you thought. No, that's fine. So as your other people are joining, please let us know that you're here.
Hey, what are you having tonight? Tonight we're going with rum chata again.
That is
why?
That is something.
Because
you have so much of it left.
Well, I can't really see through the bottle.
There's not much left. He actually
it's probably about
it.
that much. So
yeah. You know what? Did you get that for like a present or?
Well, I got some for a little Christmas sing-along.
Okay, yeah.
But then I got another bottle.
You liked it that much?
Well, I thought, it's there, so why not?
Yeah. So tell us what your great New Year drink is. Mine, as always, guess what it is? It's an Arnold Palmer. But I've been really getting into mocktails lately.
Well, I put in a little vodka in there.
You did not. You totally didn't.
Oh.
But tonight is our 2023 special. I forgot to bring my hat, but if I did, I'd have like, and the hats and stuff. But it seems kind of passe since it's already the 8th.
This is as early as we could do it, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Because obviously last Monday wasn't going to work.
Right, and then the prior was not going to work.
Right,
the 25th and then the 1st.
Exactly.
Yeah, it just played out that well. But anyway, so what did you do? What was your big gift this year? Besides all the pot that was given to you.
I sound like a real drug addict now, right? For my back. Back.
Yes. I think that's important to take care of your health.
Yeah. Honestly, don't recall.
You don't remember? So
it wasn't a big year of gifts because it was a big year of studio gifts.
Yeah. So we're going to go over that in a minute. That's definitely. And I'd have to say my huge gift this year was going down to spend some time with my kids. We had all of them together, which was crazy. Even my new son, Rob, my son-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to spend some time together in an Airbnb and we played games, we talked, we ate. I ate way too much, but that was a gift. Sometimes a present isn't needed. Like a physical present, it's just the presence of people is good. So that was a lot of fun. Any questions about that? Or, are you intrigued
You've been gone for 3 weeks, so.
I know. Actually, I just dropped in today. This is the first time we've seen each other, I think, in 3.5 weeks. So, hi, nice to meet you.
Hi.
My name is Heather.
That's a firm handshake.
It's not because I come from farmers.
Often you have the fish hand.
No, it's not fishy. No, I'm not like that.
No.
But anyway, we're going to talk about 2023 in gear, songwriting, and guests, kind of in that order. So we want to quickly go through, how did we do on gear this year? There's always we know that there's been microphones.
I can say this 2023 was the biggest year of studio purchases ever.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. Now, we've been doing this 17 and a half years now.
Yep.
Nearly 17 and a half. And obviously you remember the studio has changed so drastically.
It has. Yep. Yeah.
I think when you started working here, were we against this wall or was I against that wall still?
No, we were against this wall.
Okay. So I'd changed that much of it.
Yeah.
But so much new interfaces, compressors, more compressors, more compressors, and more compressors, more preamps, more preamps, more preamps.
Right.
And then the whole slew of microphones, which there was a lot of microphone purchases. And
do you feel like you're more well prepared, for what may come in the studio as far as
my thinking is at this point in my life, since I'm still working, I'm going to get all the gear that I need to be able to keep me going.
Yes.
After I don't have this much income.
Right. That's a good idea.
That's the idea. And, so I don't think that currently, I don't think that 2024 will be anywhere close to what 2023 was.
Yeah.
But 2023 was huge. It was a monstrous year.
It's almost like we're preparing, like you built somewhat of a foundation for 2024.
Yeah. And I've been spending so much time. You guys can't see it, but I've spent so much time arranging stuff, rewiring things, getting it all set so everything is ready to roll.
And for those of you that come in the studio on a regular basis, you know the new things that have been added, so you're seeing them. But for those of you who haven't, there's a whole card catalog of microphones. I think they're in alphabetical order.
I have the Dewey Decimal System of
I haven't seen the inventory sheet yet, but I will be requesting the inventory sheet to make sure if those that are going to be appreciated at a certain level or depreciated at a certain level.
I'm nesting. Yeah.
That's great. That's brilliant. Yeah, so I feel like we're in good form. I still get worried about whether when you get some kind of new software in here that something's going to crash. So I'm not happy about the gear
surprisingly
on the computer. I'm just not.
A couple months ago we did the major update to the software we record with, which is it's Nuendo. People are going, "What's that?" It's like Pro Tools, but it's better. Anyway, so I upgraded Nuendo. And everything started crashing.
I hate that.
I was getting crashes all the time.
That. Yeah,
but
probably
it took a month
close to how you don't like it.
It took a month to figure out, but Nuendo wasn't the cause of the crashes at all.
I know, it was another plugin.
I upgraded another plugin, and that plugin was the crash. And it took me until 2 weeks ago to actually get it to not crash anymore.
See, this is why it's good that you're in IT.
Oh, yeah.
This is why, not just anybody can pick up Nuendo and Pro Tools or whatever and keep on adding plugins.
You really have to be into IT if you want to do this.
Right.
Because it is really heavy duty IT. I had to figure out some scripts to run that could catch the crash when it was happening because no crash log was being created. So I had to run something in the background that was just monitoring, waiting for a crash, which normally Windows would do that, but it wasn't doing that because the crash was a poof. You'd be working and all of a sudden it would go poof. Everything would just be gone.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone has experienced that too. And they're like, I don't know who to call. But you
most
call
people who
yourself.
know me call me.
Don't call Tom.
So call the Geek Squad.
I was going to say the Yellow Squad because that's all I could think of was the yellow
the
cars.
Best Buy people.
Yeah.
No, they don't know what they're doing.
They don't.
But anyway, I did solve that. I actually worked on some sessions over the last week without a single crash. I mean, like opening, closing.
Docking wood.
That isn't wood.
I'm
it's
sorry.
Formica.
I'm sorry. Okay.
There's no wood in that table. So that was good. But there was a lot of other plugins that have been purchased.
Yeah. Some
great orchestral things. So now I can do some better orchestral mock-ups. I've spent so much money on samples of orchestras. Unreal amounts.
See, I like the other gear that you have in the studio better than the software because
the software's invisible. Software's invisible.
But it can cause us to stop working, right? Where the other things are just these wonderful tools that help things kind of run well on the inputs. That is kind of the massaging and all of that seems a little bit scary to me. Like it's just...
Well, we did have problems with the IR loader for the guitar amp that broke. Bought it, didn't use it for months, used it for the first time.
And it broke.
Well, I noticed it. bad distortion on it. I was like, what's going on? Tried everything, went around in circles with the manufacturer. They finally said, you'll have to send it back to us in France.
That wasn't going to happen.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, it took me 3 months to get it back.
It's airmail.
But it is back now, sitting right up there, that white box.
It's a white box.
Yeah. How exciting, huh?
Well, I think it's a good year in gear then. Good year in gear.
A very good year.
And it sets us up in a good place for 2024.
Exactly. It raises up our game.
Yeah.
So that, and I'm always into microphones because different singers sound better on different microphones.
Yeah, and you can
There
really
is
tell.
no best microphone.
Yeah.
I have one that's the most expensive one that I own, but that's not always the best one.
Right.
So.
Yep, that's good. Yeah, so if you got questions related to gear, let us know.
Yeah, I'm sure they're just chomping at the bit with their gear questions.
I know. So that's gear, and I think we're going to go to songwriting next. Just about you and me. So you've done some stuff that's in your own kind of Undoubting Thomas vein. I've written some stuff that is probably going to stay in the Storybook Jane vein, right? Yeah. But we've done some stuff for ourselves as Shadowfields. Some of the
not a truckload this last year. This has been like a lower year on songwriting. Mm-hmm. But we were very busy with tours.
Yes, we were. We were like something like 30, 34 shows or so.
So
like that.
We were very busy with shows and traveling around.
Yep.
And that was good. But because of that, it kind of cut down on time in the studio.
Yep. But the stuff, if you've seen it, the Running Up That Hill, we did that.
Oh, that's right.
And we arranged that. That was so fun. And then we did the video.
That seemed like so long ago, but that was a year ago that we were recording it.
Yep. And then we did the video for that in Kentucky.
Yeah.
That was a great time. If you haven't seen the video, please look up Shadowfields and Running Up That Hill.
I wonder
we love it.
How many people
I listened to it on the way home. And I mean, I got to tell you, coming out of a rest stop, that song, it feels like you're flying when you're listening to that song. So if you'd like to fly,
is your gas pedal kind of go dun dun dun?
No, it's
dun.
just like
you like this jerky motion as you're going down the road.
There are some songs that you feel really great driving to, and you know what I'm talking about. Like Jim, tell me what your favorite song is to listen to when you're driving your Corvette. There's just something about some music that you're like really, you have memories of driving in a car, listening to that.
Yeah.
So I always liked Don Henley and the Boys of Summer. That's like a huge like summer song for me. Driving home on the expressway, coming from Lake Ontario, going to my little house, North Shiloh, New York, and just listening to that. So Running Up That Hill is like my new favorite song to drive to. It's really fun. But that, and we did we did a video for that, and then on the dime, we got that. That's going to be coming out.
Nearly done. It's
we're just waiting on whether or not we're going to listen to it tonight to see if I want to re-sing it. Sometimes the original is the best one, so we'll see. And we have another one that we're working on too. So it's been fun to be in the studio working on that. Got some.
So it's kind of interesting that we've each had our own things. Like we were percolating lyric ideas. Mm-hmm. So on a dime, you wrote that whole thing. So that is, there's like 20 of Heather on that one, and that should come out, within the next month or two.
The 20 of us, 20 of me.
Yeah, the 20 of you.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, and then I've been working on a song.
Yep.
Called Any Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
a really beautiful song. You're gonna love that.
Yeah, another nice, horribly sad song.
That's what you do best.
Yeah, well, you go with your strengths, right?
Mm-hmm. Don't you see the cloud over here and the sun? Maybe over here.
Well, it is true. I got like the heavy, dark brooding thing, and you have the sunshine.
You are my sunshine. All right. Let us know if you have any New Year's resolutions. We already talked about ours last year, last year when we were together. Do you remember what yours was?
Yes, I don't make New Year's resolutions.
Exactly. That's what yours was.
They're there to be broken, and anytime somebody says, this is what you have to do, that means I need to not do that. Just like if you say, you will love this movie, you need to go see this movie. You know what? I'll never see that movie. I'll never see it.
You're a doubter. You're a doubter.
I'm not a doubter.
All right. So, so I think we're looking at next year, if we can, is to let's get another album written. What do you think of that? Maybe that could be a New Year's resolution.
I was thinking of a different slant this next year. I'm thinking about becoming an influencer. Brought to you by Rum Chata. I love Rum Chata.
It could just be the Rum Chata, and every time you could come in and talk about Rum Chata, the Rum Chata channel.
Can you believe that?
Sammy Hagar, Can't Drive 55. Is that really real, or were you just trying to be like thematic on that?
Jim hasn't seen 55 in a long time. I don't mean age-wise. I mean speed-wise.
Yeah. He's probably a speed demon. So what is this new? You're going to be an influencer?
I'm an influencer, yeah.
What's that mean?
Oh, it's people that get on, and you can subscribe to my channel, and I tell you about my beauty secrets. And I talk about myself a lot. And I'm an influencer. I influence you to do things. I think you should all go out and buy a Shadowfields album or listen to Shadowfields tonight.
You could talk about, how many of you would like to see Tom as an influencer? And then what would he be marketing? Come on, let's have a little fun. Come on, let's do this. No, I would love this. Come on. You really do like to be an influencer, wouldn't you?
No, not really.
Microphones?
No, I don't think I'd be really good at that.
No?
No, I can't afford enough. I can't get enough variety of microphones so I could actually do the A/B test. And
No. Okay.
But there are people out there.
It's kind of a fun idea. Like, what would you want?
I find it interesting that there are people out there that's all they do is, hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve. How are you feeling?
All they do is try to influence people into thinking like they think, do what they do.
Yes, it's true.
Be different, like me.
Actually,
but everybody becomes the same when they.
Steve says, Tom Kardashian. Oh, you'd have to wear tight pants. And then Steve Post says Tom is an influencer. That's good.
Thank you very much.
All right, so keep them going. Good, Steve. I'm glad you're well.
Excellent.
Happy 2024, everybody. All right, and so we've had some people in the studio. We've had some guests in our studio.
What's the count on that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, I'm gonna say 12, because we had Ferdy in here.
Oh, and Michael.
Yeah, and Michael J. Yeah. So, let's start. I think our very first folks that were in the studio this year.
Are you going to check these off when you say them so you don't bring them back up again?
It's Alan and Joe.
Is this like a quiz or anything like that?
No.
Yeah,
no.
I do believe that Alan and Joe were the first, weren't they?
Yeah, so Young Isaac.
No. Before Alan and Joe. Was not Will before Alan and Joe?
No.
No?
No, Will was after.
Oh, okay.
It was after Joe came in. But Alan, I think it was last year or the 2022.
Alan Young Isaac.
Young Isaac, and look up Young Isaac. We're gonna go through like all the social media
ways to find them.
Yeah, so if you look up at Young Isaac, and he has a show on January 20th at Pollyanna in Roselle. But the first song that we did for him was Cheat Code.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep, Cheat Code.
It's a very fun pick-me-up song. And hi, Laura Fish.
Hi, Laura.
New music, new songs, new acts. Okay. All right. I don't see that for you, but okay. So Alan, Young Isaac, and he has a song called Cheat Code. That was super fun to do that with him.
And then he came back with Joe Martin.
Yep.
And they did a mashup of Kanye's Ghost Town.
Yep.
And Radiohead Creep.
Mm-hmm.
And so they did a mashup of that, and that was very cool.
I think that is actually out there somewhere.
Both of those songs are out there. They're both on Spotify.
I forget what they called it. Do you remember what they called it?
Ghost Town.
Yeah.
Ghost Town / Creep mashup.
So that was Alan and Joe. And then we had Will Dannon that came in.
Yeah.
Man, Will. So Alan has kind of he's got pop. It's like a pop rap thing going, right? A little bit. What would you call his music?
I wouldn't call it rap at all.
What would you call it?
It's kind of, indie pop right now.
Indie pop?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Alan's voice is very strong, and he has a lot of passion in his voice. Then we had Will Dannon that came in.
Yeah.
And Chris, he's kind of like a Chris Cornell sound to his stuff that he's done.
Yeah, we never did play his song on the show ever. Someday we should.
Someday we're going to see.
Because I don't think that Will ever put it out anywhere.
He didn't, and it's so.
We worked on that a lot.
Yeah, and you had something particularly interesting to say about him because he came in and he sang. Tom never had to put.
He only sang it one time,
and you never had to put any.
Oh, I don't adjust him at all. I didn't have to adjust him. Typically,
no pitch,
even a great
all.
singer, you'll have a great performance, but there'll be one note that may be just a little bit flat at the end. I'll fix that. You just don't want to have things that irritate you.
Yeah.
But we only work with great singers. But Will was such a singer that he would come in and he sang it one time against a scratch if he just played guitar, and we pieced it together. It was a song he wrote in high school. Mm-hmm. He sang it one time, and it was flawless.
Yeah.
And he ended up re-singing it just because he felt like he could give it more after the whole song was done, and it became this gigantic, monstrous song. Then he decided that he needs to come back and sing it a bit more loudly, but it was flawless to begin with.
It was incredible.
And he only came back and sang it one more time anyway.
Yep.
So Will was an interesting one to work with.
But we'll see if we can get him to do something with that, because it's an incredible song. The next person we had that came in was Avril.
Yes.
Yeah, and so she has a song that's out there, and you can find her at Avril, AVOL, Victor OL, and she wrote a song that's Everything as You Know It to Be.
Yeah.
And you can find her on Spotify as well. So it's at Avril Spotify. She has a voice of an angel.
Yeah.
She go up super high. And
if she was a guy, she'd be the Steve Perry of the 70s, where Steve Perry wrote all these vocal lines that were so in the stratosphere. But the problem is, with all the singers from the 80s, 70s and 80s that sang super high, when you get to be in your 50s and 60s, you can't hit those notes anymore.
Right.
So you're either dropping the key or you're dropping the song.
Right.
Or you're just not going out anymore.
And she's just natural at it, isn't she? She's
got the highest voice. I think a few things like that mirror up there cracked when she was singing one of those high notes. It was...
Yeah. But when she sings them,
it's beautiful.
Solid. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's incredible. The next person we had in after Avril, I think was Dan Osseo.
Yeah, probably.
So Dan Osseo has just come out with a song, and it is called Let's Go. So he was the one that was on our show.
Yeah, he was here
early December.
Yeah, he was here last December, and I think he even sang that song. But now you can go out online and you can find it. It's called "Let's Go" by Dan Osseo,
and he's on Spotify.
ASIO. He's on Spotify, and iTunes and all the standard places. And that came out great.
Yeah.
We just got back the master for his next song.
Yeah. We're on track. He's going to be doing songs. We'll have to let you know how that goes.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about Dan is he actually learned in musical theater as well. He was in musicals. Yes.
All right. We're going to start talking faster because it is already 8:25.
Am I talking too slow?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. But Dan, and then we had, I think Luis came in, and Luis has just launched a song. You can find it Songs by Luis. And
it's called Mrs. Weatherstone.
Mrs. Weatherstone.
It's a beautiful song. And our very own Gary Jacklin played violin on it.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Yeah, our own gypsy. Yeah, so look up for Luis Martinez and look up Mrs. Weatherstone. We had Dave Narad come in.
Dave was here he was here for like 4 days.
Was it 3 or 4 days?
3 or 4 days. He came in on a Thursday and left on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And
he wasn't tired of us yet.
We nailed down 5 songs for him.
Yeah.
And then he went away and we kept working on them and they came out very cool.
And so you can find him on Spotify. And
yes, you can.
It's Last Time
I saw the moon. Well, I think that was the first song that's come out. I think in 3 weeks, I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, but in 3 weeks, he has a song called Seasons.
Love that song.
It's a very, very different kind of song.
Yeah, it is.
It's not a pop tune.
No.
It's a I've got my rum chata and I'm just sitting back and I'm chilling out.
It slows you down, doesn't it?
It does.
Like slows you down and makes you think.
That song is kind of headphone music. Did you guys, when you were younger, do headphone things where you just like put on your favorite album and you just listen to the music? You know, like Queen, obviously. Tony Scrooge's way into Queen. Mm-hmm. And, A Day at the Races and A Night at the Opera. Those albums were incredibly detailed and just so much happening in the mix. I used to love just to put on headphones at night and just listen to various albums. Front side, flip it over, back side,
And you'll
so you get the whole idea.
Thing, right? Yes, 3 weeks. It comes out on January 27th.
Very cool. Very cool.
Look for Seasons by Dave Narad, Nared. We've had Christian Allen Hansen.
Yeah, he's been traveling a lot lately.
He has been traveling a lot. He's local, so look up Christian Allen Hansen, and he has a song out there. I believe
he never released it.
Really?
As far as I know, it's not even released.
But look for him. But look to see if Ghost Town is out there. We'll have to check with him if Ghost Town is out there.
That was the working title, was Ghost Town.
Oh, what would it end up being?
I don't know. We were thinking maybe it was going to be Ghosted.
Oh,
or She Ghosted Me.
She ghosted me.
She ghosted me.
She ghosted me, left me wondering why.
It's a very fun song, and
it's very country.
It's so catchy. It's one of those things where you hear it and you're like, you go away because of his heavy drawl on the song.
Yes,
you're going to be singing it just that same way. I don't know if it's even out, but we put a lot of effort into that one too.
so good. And then we had Larry Etchins in the studio, and we haven't finished up his song yet, but want to mention him.
We will be having Larry in again very soon.
Yeah,
he was waiting for his voice to come back.
Yep, and we will get that.
He was having a little bit of vocal trouble.
Yep.
From COVID and stuff like that later in the year, and so he'll be back in to finish up his vocals, and then we can tie up that whole song.
Yeah, but you can find him out on Spotify. It's OETJEANS. And it's Larry Etchins. And then Sammy Barzano. He came in the studio and we listened to a few of his songs and we picked one that we thought would be tops for him to play. And he's come in.
He has a lot and he has a very specific style.
Yeah.
He's kind of a
rockabilly
meets the Stones.
Yeah. It's so fun.
So we had started working on that one song, and we're pretty far on it already. I've got some electric guitars done on it. I got the bass done on it. We just got to get real drums, and
we'll be on our way.
And he comes back in and just nails some more vocals.
Yep, I think some people are addicted to the studio now, which we love. So that's going to be fun this coming year. And then we had Ferdy Brillante that came in, and Michael J.
Yeah.
And what are they doing?
That's a special treat for you.
That's a special treat for me because they're
some
jazz standards, which yay! Super excited to have to work with them on that. So to Dan, Christian, Angela Chamberlain or Avel, Dave Narad, Larry Etchins, Luis Martinez, Sammy Barzano, Will Dannon, Joe Martin, Young Isaac or Alan Perez, Ferdy Brillantes, and Michael J. Thank you so much
thanks
for trusting us with, doing your music and helping you produce songs
the funny
that
thing
you love.
This isn't a commercial studio. We're just doing this when we hear somebody and we say, that song needs to be heard.
Yeah.
And a lot of younger artists and even a lot of older artists, they don't have the money to go into a studio and pay, if you were to rent this out, just the amount of gear and stuff, it'd cost a fortune.
Yeah.
Nobody can afford that.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to give back a little bit and trying to help them out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a great year. When I look back, I was like, I can't believe, all of these songs that have gotten produced and engineered by you, and all the great encouragement we've been able to give some local artists. And that encourages us. And then you all are encouraging us. And
It builds community.
We really love that. So next year looks like a big year from, just having a good foundation and taking this further. We're looking forward to getting out to more gigs out. I'm anticipating going to North Carolina this year. Super excited about that. And
maybe Rochester.
I think we need to go see my mom, huh? Yeah. What do you think, Jimmy? You need some applesauce?
And we're going to go to, we're going to do an East Coast thing.
Yep.
We'll hit Nashville again.
Yep.
And maybe Atlanta.
Yep. Yeah. And if you all pray, my daughter is within the next couple of weeks, she's going to have twins. So I'm super excited. I don't really call myself a grandma. I'm calling myself Marmee from Little Women. And so
I don't have any idea who that is.
It's all right. Because I never saw myself as a grandma. I always saw myself as a mom. So Marmee is really going to be fun. But anyway, pray for good births and that everything would go well. So we're looking forward to 2024. We're looking forward to hanging out with you some more. And we really appreciate you all so much. Stay in touch. Cheers to all of you.
Yes.
And cheers to a wonderful 2024.
Yes.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Tom and Heather from Shadowfields.
Thanks.
Monday in the studio. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you again next week.
Take care, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.